A fresh wave of regional escalation is unfolding in the Middle East as Yemen's Houthi movement intensifies its involvement in the widening conflict linked to Iran and Israel. The latest developments signal a dangerous expansion of hostilities beyond traditional battle lines, with implications that stretch far beyond the immediate region, particularly for global energy markets and international trade routes. On April 1, renewed alarms spread across southern Israel following the launch of a ballistic missile attributed to Houthi forces. The projectile was reportedly aimed at the Negev desert region, a strategically significant area in southern Israel. Air raid sirens rang out across multiple locations, including Beersheba, the region's largest city and administrative hub, prompting residents to seek immediate shelter. According to Israeli military officials, the missile was detected early as it moved toward Israeli territory. Defense systems were swiftly activated, successfully intercepting the incoming threat before it could cause damage. Emergency protocols were triggered nationwide, with civil defense authorities issuing safety instructions to residents. After a thorough assessment, officials later confirmed that the situation had stabilized and that it was safe for civilians to leave protected spaces. No casualties were reported. This latest incident underscores a growing trend: the expansion of the conflict beyond direct Iran-Israel exchanges into a broader regional confrontation. The Houthis, a powerful Iran-backed group controlling large parts of western Yemen, have now openly entered the conflict, launching a series of missiles and drones toward Israeli territory. Their involvement marks a critical turning point. Analysts warn that this development effectively opens a second front in the conflict, one that carries serious strategic consequences, particularly for global maritime routes and energy supply chains. The geographical positioning of Houthi-controlled territories gives them a unique strategic advantage. They maintain control over key areas along Yemen's western coastline, including regions overlooking the Red Sea. From these positions, they are capable of threatening one of the world's most vital maritime choke points, the Bab al-Mandab Strait. This narrow waterway connects the Red Sea to the Gulf of Aden and, by extension, to the Indian Ocean. It is a crucial artery for global trade, especially for oil shipments traveling from the Middle East to Europe and Asia. Any disruption here could ripple across global markets with immediate and far-reaching consequences. The current escalation comes at a time when another critical choke point, the Strait of Hormuz, is already under significant strain. This passage, which typically handles a substantial portion of the world's oil shipments, has seen disruptions linked to the broader regional tensions. In response to these challenges, alternative routes have been temporarily utilized. Saudi Arabia, for instance, has rerouted crude oil exports through its Red Sea port of Yanbu. This strategy has allowed millions of barrels of oil per day to bypass the more volatile Strait of Hormuz, offering a partial buffer to global supply chains. However, this workaround now faces a serious threat. If the Bab al-Mandab Strait becomes unsafe due to escalating Houthi attacks, even these alternative routes could be cut off. Such a scenario would significantly constrain global oil supply, pushing markets into a state of heightened instability. Energy analysts are increasingly concerned about the implications. The Red Sea route, particularly through Yanbu, has become a crucial fallback mechanism. While it cannot fully replace the volume typically transported through Hormuz, it has played an essential role in stabilizing supply in recent weeks. The potential loss of this route would therefore have disproportionate consequences. Tankers may be forced to take significantly longer routes around the southern tip of Africa, adding weeks to delivery times. This would not only increase transportation costs, but also tighten global supply further. Even the mere threat of disruption has already begun to impact the market. Insurance premiums for shipping through high-risk zones have surged, freight costs are climbing, and oil prices are responding accordingly. The Houthis have demonstrated their operational capabilities over the past year. Since late 2023, they have repeatedly targeted commercial vessels in the Red Sea using drones and anti-ship missiles. These actions have forced shipping companies to reconsider their routes, often opting for longer, more expensive alternatives to avoid potential attacks. Their recent statements indicating that closing the Bab al-Mandab Strait is a viable option suggest that further escalation is not only possible, but increasingly likely. The global oil market is already reacting. Prices for benchmark crude have surged significantly since the conflict intensified, reflecting growing fears of supply disruptions. Some analysts warn that if the Bab al-Mandab Strait is severely impacted, prices could spike even further in the coming months, but the implications extend beyond price alone. Availability is becoming an equally pressing concern. Asia, in particular, stands at the forefront of this vulnerability. The region relies heavily on Middle Eastern oil, with a substantial portion of its supply passing through the very routes now under threat. Any disruption could have immediate and severe consequences for energy security across multiple countries. Signs of strain are already emerging. Some nations have begun implementing emergency measures to manage their energy consumption. Strategic reserves are being closely monitored and, in some cases, drawn down to maintain stability. If shipments are delayed or rerouted, shortages could begin to materialize in a matter of weeks. The impact would not be uniform, but heavily import-dependent economies are likely to feel the pressure most acutely. There's also the possibility of shifting supply priorities. Producers may choose to direct available resources toward closer or more stable markets, potentially leaving others scrambling to secure alternative sources. This could further exacerbate regional disparities in energy access. What is unfolding is not merely a localized disruption. It represents a broader stress test of the global energy system, with one major choke point already under pressure and another facing potential closure. The system's resilience is being pushed to its limits. The interconnected nature of global supply chains means that disruptions in one region can quickly cascade into wider economic consequences. The risks extend beyond fuel prices. Prolonged instability in energy supply can drive inflation, increase production costs, and slow economic growth. Industries reliant on consistent energy inputs may face operational challenges, while consumers could see rising costs across a wide range of goods and services. In this context, the situation in the al-Mandab Strait takes on heightened significance. It is not just a regional passage, it is a critical component of the global economic infrastructure. The coming weeks will be pivotal. If tensions continue to escalate and key shipping routes become increasingly unsafe, the world may be forced to confront a scenario that goes beyond market volatility and enters the realm of systemic disruption. The warning signs are already visible. Rising prices, shifting trade routes, and growing geopolitical tensions all point toward a fragile equilibrium. Whether this situation stabilizes or spirals into a broader crisis will depend largely on developments in these critical maritime corridors. For now, the global community watches closely, aware that what happens in these narrow waterways could shape the trajectory of the global economy in the months ahead.